Are you considering a Caribbean cruise? Let me share my top 5 favorite ports as well as my 5 least favorite Caribbean ports this week on Seymour Seas. Hi everyone and welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Doug with Seymour Seas, a cruise tips and planning channel where I hope to help you and your family pick, plan, and enjoy your next cruise vacation. In order to help my channel grow, if you do find this video enjoyable or helpful in any way, please do give it that thumbs up and consider subscribing. It's free to you, but means the world to me. Thanks so much, and let's get started. As I record this video, the Caribbean cruise season is quickly approaching, and I'm sure many of you are looking at investigating and maybe even planning a Caribbean cruise. I'm going to share with you my favorite ports in the Caribbean, as well as a few of my least favorite ports, in order to help you decide what might be best for you and your family. The way I picked my favorites and least favorites was a completely subjective list of items that I'll share with you today. So the list of the subjective criteria are things such as the beauty of the port. Is this a really amazing island that we're approaching? Is the downtown right on the water and you can get to it easily? So also, is there a pier that we will be docked, or do you have to tender? What are the port facilities like? Are there shops, bars, even bathrooms? How accessible is it to the downtown area where you can walk around and enjoy the local culture? Are there things to do downtown? Or do you have to pay for expensive excursions to be on a bus or a van for an hour to go outside of the city area or the port area? Is the port and the local town safe? Can you get off the ship, walk around, enjoy the local culture, but still feel safe in port? I'll preface this by saying that these are my opinions just from my experiences in these ports. Your opinion is going to be completely different, and I'm sure you've had completely different experiences in many of these ports. I believe you can find something fun to do in any of the ports. There are just some that shine a little bit brighter than the others. And of course, I'd love to know your thoughts on my choices, as well as I'd love to hear what your favorite ports are in the Caribbean. So as we get started, let me give you a graphic of the Caribbean cruise ports that we have visited and not visited. Fort Lauderdale is our home port. We also go out of Miami often, and we've been to most of the islands in the Bahamas, the Eastern Caribbean around San Juan, St. Maarten, Tortola, down in the Southern Caribbean to Caracao, and then some of the standard Western Caribbean like the Dominican Republic, Haiti, Falmouth, Jamaica, Ocho Rios, Jamaica, Grand Cayman, Cozumel, Costa Maya, Belize, and Roatan. So let's get to the list of what my top 5 favorite ports are in the Caribbean. First up, in no particular order, is San Juan, Puerto Rico. We absolutely love San Juan. When you're approaching the port area, you go through a channel and go past one of the 2 major fortresses that are downtown Old San Juan. The pier structure is right there in front of the downtown. Now there is a new cruise terminal across from Old San Juan that's getting some updates, but you're still very accessible to the downtown area. One of the funny things about this port is that as you exit the ship downtown at the main facility, you've got a Walgreens right in front of you where you can get any additional sunscreen or anything that you forgot to bring on the cruise, and it's right there. Walking around downtown is very, very safe. There is just lots of wonderful things to see. The cobblestone streets, the old cathedral. You can walk up around to one of the 2 fortresses downtown, which is El Morro. That's the fortress that you see when you're coming into port through the channel. You also have another fortress nearby that you can walk to, which is San Cristobal. And both of these fortresses are part of the National Park Service, and so entry into one pays for the entry into the other as well. This is part of the United States, so your ATMs are available. You will get US cell signal there, and so those are some very big pluses. But the beauty of it is the local culture, and every time we go there, we find something new, and it is absolutely a fantastic area to explore each and every time that you arrive in Old San Juan. So next up is St. Maarten. St. Maarten is an absolutely beautiful island. It's part of the Leeward Islands, very close to the US Virgin Islands. And when you will arrive in Phillipsburg, and there is a main pier area that is just off of the downtown. So you do have very accessible access to the downtown area of Phillipsburg. St. Maarten is split up into a French side and a Dutch side. There are many things to do in St. Maarten. It has some of the world's most famous beaches. Be advised, some are clothing optional. And it also has that very famous beach that is next to the airport. Many people do like to get sandblasted by the engines of these large aircraft that are taking off from the main airport. And you'll find many of those videos on YouTube. They're quite hilarious, so check them out. As we walked around Phillipsburg on our first few visits there, we spent the entire day and had a wonderful time exploring, and even went further inland into some of the residential areas, and we felt very safe. This is an exciting island to visit. It's absolutely beautiful on the approach as well as sailing away. So I do hope that you take advantage of everything there is to do in St. Maarten. We've done a number of different things, such as mountain biking. We have done an amazing zip line excursion there, and these excursions are close by and they are very affordable as well. St. Thomas is another place that you must visit. St. Thomas is in an absolutely beautiful island. It's part of the US Virgin Islands near Puerto Rico. And as you approach the island, it just feels like that you've been transported into the Mediterranean and looking at Italy or Greece. It's just something very, very gorgeous. There are two main piers in St. Thomas. One is downtown in Charlotte Amalia. The other is on the other side of the bay, and it's about a mile from downtown. So the main pier downtown is very accessible and very walkable. You get off the ship and there are tons of shops. It's so easy to walk around, and it's a beautiful downtown. There are lots of excursion opportunities that are not far away. One of the major standouts, the very first time that we went, there is a tram that goes up a side of a small mountain, similar to what you would find in Juneau in Alaska. So we said, why not? Let's take a ride up to the top, see what's up there. And what we found is an area called Paradise Point, and there was a small animal farm there. We were able to find lots of different animals up there. There was a female goat that was having problems nursing her brand new born calf, and there was a gentleman there that was trying to assist and actually gave us the calf to hold. Mother would not feed because the male had marked her very early after the birth. This was an amazing experience, as you can see. And lo and behold, after that happened, we were even treated to a peacock that came out and decided to put on a show for us, and absolutely spectacular colors that the peacock showed us, and we were able to get up very, very close. We had a small snack in a restaurant that was up there, and just made it an amazing experience and an amazing day. And every time that we go back to St. Thomas, we do try something new, but this holds a very special place in our memory. Next on my favorites list is Perfect Day at Coco Cay. Now, this is a cruise line private island owned by Royal Caribbean, but I put it on my list just because there are so many amazing things to do, and they have taken the private island concept and completely blew it up. There are so many activities to do, such as a for a fee water park with the biggest slides in the Caribbean. It's got a freshwater pool. It has a helium balloon, and it also has lots of different areas for everyone. If you want jet skis, if you want snorkeling, if you want to swim up to a bar, if you want to have just a relaxing time on the beach, there's the Chill Island side of the island that is extremely relaxing and has lots of amenities with lots of food, lots of bars. The Wi-Fi package on board the ship transfers to the island, so you have Wi-Fi, and if you've got the drink package, it also transfers over to the island, so you can make the most of that drink package. There are cabanas that you can rent for you and your family. There are day beds. There's something in every budget, and they also have a very highly upgraded beach club that you can purchase a day pass that has a pool and cabanas. And so I think Perfect Day at Coco Cay is a must visit. So rounding out the favorite cruise ports in the Caribbean, last one on my list is Key West. Key West, Florida is part of the mainland United States. However, it's just a very, very unique destination that is unlike anywhere. The pier is right downtown off of Mallory Square. You get off the ship and you are right in the heart of Key West. There are so many things to do in Key West, so many bars and restaurants, and just very, very unique architecture. But there's also some things there, such as the Truman White House, which is a really cool venue. You've got the Hemingway House. You've got lots of water sports, lots of fishing, lots of catamaran parties, parasailing. There's just tons of things to do, and we've really, really enjoyed it. There's also cellular service because it is part of the United States. You've got your ATMs, you've got your pharmacies. There's so many things that are accessible, and who doesn't have a good time in Key West? Now let's talk about some of my least favorite ports in the Caribbean. The first on the list, again, no particular order, is Freeport, Bahamas. Freeport is somewhat of a not impressive looking port in itself. You pull into what looks like an industrial area, and then to do anything in Freeport, you actually have to hop on a bus, and they take you to an area where there's a couple beaches and there's a couple resorts and a straw market. A lot of the amenities at the beaches are actually closed. There are a lot of aggressive people trying to sell you things on the beach, and many times you spend a few hours at the beach, you get back on the bus, and then you go back on the ship. So Freeport isn't one of my most favorite ports to visit. Nassau is another one of the ports in the Bahamas that I don't feel is very impressive. Now, they do have a lot of berths at their pier, which is located downtown Nassau. The port is under construction and has been for the last few years. They have torn down the old port facilities, so there's nothing really there. A lot of the shops have not reopened since the COVID shutdown, and normally you have to buy an excursion to do anything in Nassau. Walking downtown, it's very unimpressive. There's a few Diamond International shops and a lot of t-shirt shops, and again, a lot of the restaurants and the bars have not reopened. Atlantis is located near Nassau on Paradise Island, and they, I believe, have now started allowing cruise guests to purchase a very, very expensive day pass for their water park. And there are also some other venues that have started that, such as Blue Lagoon, which is about a 30 to 40 minute boat ride over to an island, which is a nice facility, and they do have a nice dolphin swim area over there as well. But most people I know stay on board when they travel to Nassau because there's really not that much to do. Unlike Nassau, which we've been to many, many times, and maybe it made the list just because we're bored with it, this next destination is a place that we've only been to once, and that is Caracao. Caracao is in the southern Caribbean, and though it is absolutely beautiful upon approach with all the Dutch architecture and the pastel-colored buildings, once you get past that area, it's actually quite boring. The pier is right downtown. There's actually a very nice port area, but once you get past that, all it is a bunch of t-shirt shops and tourist traps, as we felt, and we were not that impressed. The restaurants and bars and areas that you can investigate seem to be low quality with limited selection. And so we tried our best because we had really high expectations for this particular port. And we walked around and tried to explore some of the outlying areas. And we quickly felt that we were not in very safe neighborhoods. So we went back to the city center and then got back on the ship. So Curacao is one of those ports that we are not that interested in returning to. Another least favorite port is Falmouth, Jamaica. Falmouth, Jamaica is another manufactured port by Royal Caribbean that is located near Ocho Rios. So in Falmouth, it is a very nice manufactured port with lots of shops and some facilities. However, it is also fenced in, and you are advised not to go out the gates and go into the downtown area because it's not a very safe environment. In Falmouth, you must do an excursion if you really want to do anything, and you're normally on a bus for 45 minutes to an hour to go to the Jamaican excursion areas, which is shared by Ocho Rios, which is a more popular port. So these areas are always very, very crowded, and it is quite a distance to get there. If you are going to Jamaica, I would recommend Ocho Rios over Falmouth. Now, the last port on my list for least favorite is Costa Maya, Mexico. This is a manufactured port developed by the cruise lines. They've done a decent job at making this authentically Mexican. However, it is man-made and it does look a bit forced. There's a lot of tourist shopping, of a little bit pharmacy, a little bit t-shirt shop, lots of cheap imitation jewelry. There is a pool there that many of the cruise line guests take advantage of. You might want to consider doing an excursion in this port. You will be on a bus or a minivan for quite some time, and some of these excursions are a little costly. If you're going to do any of the Mayan ruins, it's quite a distance from the port. And if you're going to stay in port and use the pool, the restaurant and bar area around it is quite expensive. And our experience was any of the food is extremely low quality. The biggest turnoff that we had from this port is that the dolphin swimming venue there is extremely small, and the water that the dolphins are swimming in is extremely dirty. This really was off-putting to us, and we really don't have any need to go back to that particular port. One thing to note here, if you are interested in doing a dolphin swim, I absolutely recommend the Dolphin Swim Experience VIP package in Cozumel. We did that, and it was absolutely one of the best excursions that we have ever experienced. So there you have it, a list of my most favorite and my least favorite cruise ports in the Caribbean. I'm sure you guys are going to have lots of opinions and comments about these, so please let me know what your favorites and least favorites are, or if you agree with some of my choices. Leave them in the comments below. And now let's recap what we have. For the favorites, we have San Juan, Puerto Rico, St. Martin, St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, Perfect Day at Coco Cay, which is Royal Caribbean's private island, and then Key West, Florida. On the least favorite side, we have Freeport in the Bahamas, Nassau in the Bahamas, Caracao, which is in the Southern Caribbean, which is a Dutch territory, Falmouth, Jamaica, and then Costa Maya, Mexico. Thank you so much, everyone, for showing up today. If you found this video helpful or enjoyable in any way, please, again, give it that thumbs up and consider subscribing. It helps my channel grow, and I really do appreciate it. Thanks so much for stopping in, and I'll see you again soon.